Alright, welcome back. We are working on how to create this effect. It's creating a motion graphic animated logo. So we did the fun and the end part. We have to work on the learn part. Alright, so we are going to look at how to create this right on effect in After Effects. So I'll close this window, jump right into it. I already created this effect and I forgot to hit the record button, so I did not record it, so I have to do it again. Alright, so we'll go to active camera. We have the learn. We are working with the learn layer. So what I'll do is I'll select these and shade these also. Even the background I don't need. So let me shy everything. Keep things clean. Alright, so we are working with the learn. I created a mask, so I'll delete that mask. Okay, so before I delete it, I'll show you what I did. I will hit the U key to see the keyframe. So you can see it starts from here and then it is writing on, and this is what we're going to create. So I'll select this stroke, delete it, select the mask, delete it. Alright, so whether you have a text or anything else, this will work. What we have to do is we have to use the pen tool. Make sure that the layer is selected. Okay, if you deselect and click, a new layer is created. We don't want that. We want to select the layer, and then if I click, so I have to understand how learn is written. The problem here is that my text is very wide and the brush stroke does not cover the entire length of this text. So what I do is I cheat a little bit. So I'm going to start L here, and then we write L like this. Okay, so L is done, and then we write E like this. So E should start here. So I'll click here, and then the E goes here. I'll create a curve there. I'll create a curve there. It will follow there. And then E is done, and then the A will be written like this. Okay, so we'll go to A. I will go from here to here, and then A is written. And then R like this. So I'll click here, R, and N like this. So we'll write N, and because this is wide enough, I'll end here. Okay, so once that is written, search for stroke in effects and presets. So if you go to Windows, effects and presets, if you don't find it, and once you search stroke, look for this stroke and drag it onto this. Okay, and then the brush size, I'll make it 200 because it cannot be more than 200. Okay, so now what we have to do is make sure that the entire area is covered with the white. Okay, now this seems like a problem area here, so maybe we can add one more. Okay, so we have to cheat so that everything gets covered. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time. You can do it. Okay, so this here can be stretched out. Okay, so most of it is covered, and I can spend more time doing this, but I'm not going to do that. You can spend more time figuring out how to cover all this. Okay, so once this is covered, what we do is here we use reveal original text, and then if you can see that if you animate the end, you get the end on. So we have to animate that. So we start at 2. Okay, add the end key, which will be 0, and maybe 12 frames. It will be 100%. Okay, and then you hit the U key to see the keyframes there. I had done this before, so I'll delete that. And we'll go to right click and say easy ease, and then you go to the graph editor, and here we make sure that the speed is selected, and then we'll simply drag it to the left so it happens fast and then slows down. All right, so that looks interesting. So I'll hit the space bar, fun comes, end comes, and the learn right on effect will come. Okay, F, N, and light on. Okay, now I will unfreeze everything. Okay, and then there was a P opacity thing I did. So I'll delete these keys and then I'll do it again so that you understand what is happening. So what we want is once we do the right on effect U, which ends at 212, we want everything to disappear after that. All right, so everything disappears at 30. So we will add a keyframe for all the ends. Okay, and 6 frames before we will add another keyframe, and the opacity is 100% here, and at 3 it is 0. Okay, so that is for learn. Also we'll go to P, add a keyframe, 100% here and 0% here. Then we will select FUN, open P, and I've already done that and added a easy ease. I'll select all these keys, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. All right, so we will play this again. Fun and learn stays for some time and disappears. Okay, now what I was saying is that everything happens one after the other, so you can speed things up or mix things up, and that's what makes it interesting. So if you look at FUN, okay, and then the block keyframes. So I already did that, so it started at 1, so I moved it little before, and then we will do the same thing with our learn. We hit the U key and it's happening at 2, so we can drag it. So at 18. All right, so if you look at everything, So there's overlap here, and then this can be overlapped as well. So the right on effect can happen for a longer time, maybe end here. Okay, so you'll have to play around with it and see what looks right. So fun happens, and before fun stops, the block falls, and before the block comes becomes normal, learn starts. Okay, and that looks a little bit more interesting. Okay, and then everything disappears. So then you go and then save your work, and then go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. I tried to use the MP4, but it was giving me a dark color, so I decided to go with a QuickTime movie and then use MPEG-4 compressor. Save where you want it. I want to save it in Fun and Learn, Comp 1, and hit render. Okay, and that's about it. Thank you very much for following my tutorials. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and look at my other tutorials and see what interests you. Okay, open with QuickTime, view fit to screen, and this is the final effect we get. Thank you very much.